Already live.
Hey everybody, welcome to GGrated.
You just
It
missed my
is
drum
October
roll.
15th. Oh, sorry. I don't. What do you mean? Did you play one or something?
Did you see
on
my
the
drum roll? I just rocked out on that.
No,
I
I
had to.
can't see you at all.
I
I
had
can't
to.
see you, dude.
Oh no. No.
I know. I gotta watch your stream. But anyway, it's October 15th, 2023. Welcome to GGrated. I am Joshua Gray, and this is my other beautiful host,
Gino Evans. Thank you guys for tuning in again to another episode of GG Rated, episode 11. Can you believe it? We're on episode 11 already. That's kind of
pretty
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping in, guys.
We got plenty of ammunition too, baby.
Plenty,
coming
baby.
at you.
It just keep reloading. Just keep reloading.
Some would say infinite ammunition.
Kind of like Alabama. Roll Tide.
Coming out the yin yang.
Too far. Look, guys, just to throw out real quick, if you're joining us and this is your first episode joining us, every Monday, 7 a.m., the new podcast drops. If you want to see the video that we got going on in references podcast, check us out Tuesdays. Usually drops around 7 a.m. the very next day. We appreciate you dropping in. We got a good show. We got a good show ahead. Very good show.
You can catch the VOD on YouTube, or I guess they call it. Maybe it's only VOD when it's on Spotify. You can catch the YouTube video, and you can catch the podcast, whichever you prefer. Why don't you watch them both?
And what Gray always says, the podcast. So
the podcast,
the podcast. Guys, thanks for stopping in.
So,
what you want to get started with, man, this week?
I want to get started with my favorite gaming moment this week. How about that?
Let's roll with it, man. Start it on up.
Favorite gaming moment. So my favorite gaming moment this week was playing Spider-Man with my son. So he's been kind of grounded from video games.
What? Wait, what?
And, yeah, dude, because he wasn't listening very well, so he wasn't able to watch TV or play games the entire week. And man, let me tell you, that straightened him up big time because he was looking forward to today where he could play with his dad again. So we played some. We played Gang Beasts. So it's that game where it looks like clay people and they're trying to like throw each other off of things.
Yeah, y'all play that a lot.
And we played Spider-Man. And check this out, dude. I had both of my controllers hooked up, and we both were able to control Spider-Man.
Wait.
So if he was having issues with it, I was able to jump in and take over without having to grab his controller.
You said on Spider-Man? Like which Spider-Man game?
On Steam, the one I got from you, one of the newest Spider-Mans.
The Miles Morales Spider-Man?
No, it's not Miles Morales. It's the other one. Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Like the first one? Yeah.
Yeah, like the first one. And it's weird. Like my controller, I'm using the 8-bit do. And
love that controller.
Sometimes when I log into a game, it'll pick that up as two controllers. So it'll log in two people, which I don't know why. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but he was on an Xbox controller. I was on the 8-bit do, and we both were able to control Spider-Man as long as the other person wasn't hitting buttons. The other controller would take over. So it was really neat where I would say, all right, my turn. And he would stop his controller, and then I would take over Spider-Man and beat some dudes up. And we took turns that way. And it was really cool. I don't know why Steam did it, like why it worked out like that, but it was a lot of fun. Had a good time with it.
I mean, there's some of these older games. I was hoping the new Spider-Man that they're coming out with, I was hoping that they would do like more of a co-op where, like, say me and you both had it on Steam. So when it comes out 2 years later from PlayStation, obviously, but we can both play it. So that does seem fun to sit here and just, even if it's with your son, just jumping in and playing a little bit with them, some Spider-Man. So I didn't know you can do that.
Because you can wreck folks. I didn't either, and you can wreck folks. I mean, he's just beating people up, just beating the dog out of them.
Sometimes that's just
and
fun.
Then he'll get stuck on a part, and I'll take over. And I wonder why more games don't let two controllers control the same character. Like, that should be a thing, because it's kind of like putting training wheels on a bicycle.
It's
I mean,
true. That's
if
true.
if he has issues, then I can take over the controls.
Like you're
You
literally
know.
sitting there, like if he's even driving a car, on Forza or something,
Yeah,
you can just
I could turn for him some when
yeah.
he's like having trouble.
Now,
So,
have you ever done, just kind of branching off a little bit here, have you ever done Mario Kart with your son and it kind of guides the cars a little bit to keep them on the track a little bit? I kind of like that. I could play with my
oh
chef
yeah,
doing that, and
right.
it's a fun time.
I keep forgetting to do that. So I have Mario Kart 8 on my Steam Deck. Sorry, Nintendo. And
How'd you get that? What? I'm so confused.
yeah, I'm not gonna tell you.
Carry on.
It's a Wii U emulation. And I
What?
keep forgetting to do that for my son. Um, I need to do that so I can set his difficulty down. He would probably have a lot more fun with it.
Let me tell you what happened with me, man. It wasn't really a gaming moment. Uh, Maybe a little bit of a parenting fail kind of here. But um, you wanted me to try out this Robocop demo, and I had a lot of extra jobs this weekend. Okay, guys, I've had like 3 extra jobs, trying to make some money. But I had an opportunity yesterday during the middle of the day. I had some downtime, and I'm like, man, let me try out this Robocop game that we've been talking about so much. Well, my wife was off doing something else, so I'm sitting here with the son. He's watching his cartoons and stuff playing, and I'm like, let me play this Robocop on the side. And if you know the Robocop demo, which we'll get into later in the podcast, I'm sure, but it can get kind of gory, right? A little bit of blood stuff.
hmm
I'm sitting here, I'm like into it, and next thing you know, you like we get more into it, but you can punch the guy and it pretty much demolishes him. And all of a
Oh
sudden,
yeah.
my son Shep comes up next to me all the way to the side of my room and looks at my screen. He's like, "Ooh, that's a lot of blood, Dad." I'm like, "Oh, let me hit pause. Okay, buddy, let's go back over there." So I had to stop it for a little bit till the wife got
Dude,
home.
I've been there.
And I'm
I've
like,
been there
"Oh,
where
I
it's like,
can't
oh,
believe he just seen that." But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. But uh a, not really a gaming moment for the day. I
well,
didn't get
that was a gaming moment.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just wasn't one that you would have hoped to have, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly. But did you see just kind of moving on a little bit here, did you see the news in reference to Activision Blizzard finally being bought by Xbox? It's official by Microsoft.
No, dude, let's move on to that. Let's move on to the news. Tell us about it.
Well, it's not much to it. They got bought. It's not much to it. I think the
Well, that
CMA.
concludes the news.
The CMA officially gave the pass not too long ago because the big thing was the cloud service, right? That was hung up on the CMA. Well, the FTC lost that court battle, so it's all up to the CMA. Apparently, Microsoft sold the cloud streaming rights to Ubisoft, and that was enough to give the edge, to give CMA to get the CMA approval, which officially was done just the other day. I think it was on the 13th of October, and they did a little short video, which was pretty cool. Little short video kind of showed all the IPs that they had, and pretty much welcomed in all the kind of like the same thing they did with Bethesda, right? So, um, I think
So you're talking about CMA. What does that mean exactly? What are you talking when you say CMA?
it's kind of like the FTC, but it's overseas, and I don't want to sound like I know too much because I haven't been following it too much. Okay, but
hmm
you know what the FTC is. Everybody knows what the FTC. They're the approval for monopolies to kind of keep monopolies from overtaking and stuff like that, and they break it up if they didn't want Microsoft to join with but that not Bethesda but Activision and um having Call of Duty and
Oh,
everything because they thought it would give them too much of an advantage, right, in the business market.
so
So
it's the UK's competition watchdog.
that's it, the
Like,
UK. So it's the
yeah.
FTC, but the UK's FTC. You see what I'm saying?
It's called the CMA.
The
Yeah.
CMA, yes. And, everywhere else in the world has already approved this thing. I know we talked about this before, but it's finally, after like a year and a half, Gray, a year and a half,
Hmm.
this thing's finally done. We can move on from it, hopefully. And we can look at,
Yeah.
they said, Phil Spencer said that not this year probably, but by the beginning of next year, you're going to start seeing some Activision Blizzard titles hit Game Pass. So that means you're gonna
Oh,
have to buy Game Pass, bro. You're gonna have to get it now.
or I could game share with you, bro. We could
Can't.
do that.
All I got is Game Pass. You can't game share Game Pass, bro.
Are you sure?
You can't. You keep saying it. You can't game share Game
I'm pretty
Pass.
sure you can.
No.
Let's see.
We got Gray. Gonna look it
So
up just so I can tell him that something we already looked up before.
sign in on any other Xbox, such as a friend's place, and share your Game Pass subscription with
Great.
everyone as long as you're signed in.
You're thinking about the games on Xbox, kind of like what we do on Steam.
Uh-huh.
So, guys, what we do on Steam is we kind of share our games on Steam. So, say if I buy a game, Gray can play it. Gray buys a game, I can play it. We just can't play it at the same time. They have the same kind of aspect on Xbox. If you didn't know that you can do that, as long as you kind of have like a trusting friend or a family member, and you want to do that. Game Pass, they're supposed to be coming out with a family subscription coming up in the future. It was actually in some other country they actually released that to give some kind of just to experiment with it a little bit, but they ended up doing away with it and they decided not to release it worldwide. So right now, all you can buy is an individual membership of Game Pass. The reason I know that, Gray, is my
Uh-huh.
daughter. She plays on Xbox in the room, and I wanted her to be able to have access to all the games I have on Game Pass. I was not able to add, I had to purchase a separate membership so she could play some of those Game Pass games. Like she couldn't use my games on her console.
Uh-huh. I think there's a way around it, but we'll see. We'll see.
But other than that, I mean that's pretty much the only thing I kind of kept up with this past week. Um, they got whoa, there's one more thing. Did you see that the new PlayStation announced the new PlayStation Slim consoles?
Yeah, I did hear something about it. So isn't it digital only? And it basically just looks like the PlayStation 5, but slimmer. Right?
Yeah, it's the PlayStation 5. It's slimmer, it's 30% smaller, okay, is what they're saying.
Uh-huh.
It's got like a divider in between where the case is on the outside. It's got like a line, and apparently the bottom can come off, and that's where you can put a hard drive on the side, like not a hard drive, but a DVD drive on the side, like a Blu-ray
Oh,
player, so you can play games. Now the digital edition, so each edition you can take off, and you can always add the Blu-ray player, the game player
mhm,
later on, right? But if you
right.
buy it outright for just the digital, it's $450. Okay, I'm talking about
Jeez.
US dollars. Yeah, so it's actually $50 more than the all digital original PlayStation 5, which was 400. Remember? And then the
Yeah.
one with the Blu-ray was actually like the disc drive was $500. So now they got it at
Jeez.
450. They're phasing out the previous model. Okay, you got 450, and after 450, you can go up to 500. But say you get the digital, you're trying to save $50, and
Mhm.
later on you're like, man, I wish I had a disc drive in this thing. You can upgrade it, but it's going to cost you $80. So it's going to be you're going to pay more than what you did instead of buying the bundle already. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you
Uh-huh.
can pay 500 now and save $30, or you can pay 450 and then later on you're going to pay 30 extra dollars probably.
Dang. Man, I would like a PlayStation 5 eventually. I just don't know if I'm ready to jump back into that ecosystem yet. The thing is I enjoy playing PC because I don't have to pay this monthly membership. Like I can play all these games online for free. It's kind of hard to go back after you've been not having to pay anything every month. But
that's the thing with me is definitely with you. You kind of got me into the Steam ecosystem so much that with
mhm,
these sales that they have, I haven't even really played too much of Xbox Game Pass either. Because
yeah,
first off, the games are just now starting to come out. You know, with Starfield,
mhm,
Forza, and all that. Which I, by the way, we got to
mhm.
play that. By the way, it's
We
been
do.
released.
So yeah, I was just gonna say. So when I build my next simulator rig, I think I'm gonna use my Xbox One X and kind of use that to power it, and then I might jump back into that ecosystem a little bit.
Will Will Forza? Do you know if Forza will play on a hard drive or does it have to be SSD? Because I know
I
the
don't
One
know.
X has a hard drive. That's the only downfall to
It
that.
does. I wish you could replace that. That would be epic if you could
You might
replace that.
can though. On my Xbox
That's
One,
something to look into.
the VCR model I used to have, my hard drive crapped the bed one day. I took it to this store in Mobile. I forget what the name of it. It's this retro store. They actually replaced it. Um, and don't hold me to it. I can't remember if they replaced it with a bigger hard drive or if they replaced it with an SSD. But that thing definitely got faster when I got it back.
Dude, I
So
think
there's a
you
way you can
can.
probably can.
I think you can. I'm gonna have to do that because didn't you tell me that the One X was just as powerful as the not the
The One S.
newest one, the One S? So
Yeah,
it's more powerful than the One S,
it
but it's
is.
an older system.
It's just not as fast
Yeah.
because of the SSD and everything. It's not as
Right.
compatible, but it can run 4K and actually do better than the One S on a lot of categories.
So you have the Xbox One, then you have the Xbox One X, and then you have the
Yeah.
Xbox S, and then the
Yeah.
Xbox
Sorry.
uh X. I'm trying to remember.
All right, so you have the
What is
Xbox
the
One
newest one that's
VCR
the big
model, the
square
big.
tower?
I'll go through it with you. So
Uh-huh.
you have the Xbox One, which is the
Okay.
VCR model, right? Then you got the
Yeah.
One S, which is you everybody knows as like the white console, right, with the disc drive, right?
Right.
Then you have the Xbox One Digital Edition, which it's the little white box, but it does not even have a drive or anything. Okay, that's the
Right.
Xbox One. You got to listen to the word the one, right? And then after
Mhm.
that, they came out and it was like, hey, Xbox said I want to be the most powerful console on the market. They came out with the One X, which is your console, the One
That's the
X,
one I jumped
but it's
on. So
still a
it can
hard
do
drive,
4K.
but it can do 4K. So
Right.
now that's it from the previous generation. They went into the new generation, which is the series consoles. So you got this.
Series, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. So Series X and Series S. And the Series S is the little white console that doesn't, that's all digital. And then you got the Series X, which
Uh-huh.
is the more powerful. And I think if you put an SSD in your One X, I think it'd be a great
Uh-huh.
console. It's just the only problem is the optimization on your console.
Yeah.
I don't know if these games are going to see the One X and allow you to play it on the One X, even if you have an
I don't
SSD. I
know.
just don't know.
There might be a way that I can trick it into thinking that it's a Series S or something.
I don't know
Who
if
knows?
it's.
Like
It might just be
that's
easier to
something that
buy
I
a
can
One
fiddle with.
S. You know, it's just so much
Maybe.
cheaper.
Or I'll just use my laptop instead on my sim rig and
Yeah,
do it that way. I don't know. But
yeah.
yeah, cool, man. That's some pretty good news. Yeah, Jane. Pretty good
Appreciate it.
news.
But hey, I do want to show you something real quick. I don't know if I told you about this, but I want to show you. One of my
Hmm.
buddies did this for us at work. Um,
I
I'll show
can't
you.
see you, so can you
Well,
share your screen?
I'll try to share my screen quick. See if I can do that. Um,
Or I can go to Twitch and
yeah.
watch.
Pull it up on Twitch real fast and let me show you this.
Let me just do that.
But I'll show
Let me
you
just do
guys
that.
while y'all looking at this on Twitch while he pulls it up. But this, for my buddies, I have to give it up to him. Albert White.
Oh
He
yeah.
did some
That's
burning,
cool.
some wood burning, and this is where I hold my headset. I'll show you how it works real quick. Pretty
So
cool.
for the
Not too bad.
audio
Um,
listeners, it's a piece of wood that's bent in a way to where It's curved on the bottom on both ends and comes up and around to where it can hold a headset. And engraved in it is, I guess he used a wood burning kit
Yep.
to engrave our logo, GG Rated.
Pretty
So it
cool,
looks
man.
pretty sweet.
So, like, when you set
Yeah, I
the
bet it looks really good on your new desk, huh?
oh, it does, man. I'm gonna have to do like a little quick video of my desk. I'm still trying to get the decorations down, but overall,
Mhm.
it's a pretty good little setup. I like it.
That's awesome.
I
I
just
like
had
it
I
too.
had to show that
Eh
to you, dude.
Oh, yeah, and speaking of setup, so if everybody is watching the video, and if you're not, audio listeners, usually I'm in my shop and I have a little setup where, I got lights and stuff behind me and and some screens, but I've been sick, so I'm inside in the recliner and got my laptop in my lap and got my mic hooked up over here to the table. And home. Yeah, you see the little picture back behind me. It says home. Welcome to my home. But yeah, so I am reclining. I am in the recliner podcast position. Just having a blast. So
You're just chilling out. Is what you're doing. You're like, hey,
I'm
this is
just
chill
chilling,
out night,
watching some anime on the TV, talking
dude.
to my
The other
buddy.
night, I was watching a little bit of that Toonami, bro, and I was watching.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching right now.
Is Sailor Moon on?
No, it's like a newer version of the Powerpuff Girls. It's like an anime.
So
Yeah.
Powderpuff Girls. I forgot all about those. But Sailor Moon, I forgot, but there was like a little girl with Sailor Moon in the group. Do you remember that?
Uh-huh. I think so. Yeah, yeah.
I was playing some Madden football and I had Toonami on the other screen as I was playing Madden. It was
It's
the
nice
most
just to have
unorthodox.
in the background.
It is. It is. And I was just literally muting Madden, the announcers, and just listening to Toonami over there. Some DBZ came on, some Toonami, some Sailor Moon on Toonami. So it was pretty
Yeah.
cool. So I love that you was able to tell me about that
They
website.
play movies too. So they'll play like random older movies, usually from like the 90s and 2000s. And they'll play different anime movies too, and they'll also play old broadcasts from Toonami. And the website is called toonamiaftermath.com. It's really good.
Y'all check that out,
You
man.
can
It's a
change
pretty
the
cool,
channels on there.
some pretty cool
Mhm.
nostalgia on there, big time.
Yes.
But
Speaking of nostalgia,
what?
what?
RoboCop.
What? RoboCop, exactly. Let's roll into RoboCop. How's
Let's
that
do
sound?
it.
Let's do it.
Let's go!
Dude, we need to
So,
get rid of
you
the
wanna go
let's
first?
go. We need to get rid of the let's go and
Uh-huh.
just say, let's get it. That's what we need.
Let's
Fly.
get it. That's a good idea. So
Man,
yeah, I
talk
played
to us
it. I
about it,
played
man.
the new
Tell them what you thought about the demo, man.
I'm sorry, I keep coughing. I'm gonna have to mute my mic when I cough again. I'm sorry, guys. But so the new RoboCop Rogue City demo. I was pretty excited about this. Let's see. My friends call me Murphy. You can call me RoboCop. Like, that whole deal. So I start the game and I'm walking around and I'm playing on my laptop and I got it connected to my 4K TV. So I'm trying to find the best like settings to where it doesn't run sporadic and has like a constant frame rate. So I was dialing that in and at times the game would look really great and at other times it would look really dated. And one thing that I found myself doing was, I start to walk slow and shoot at people and I'm using a controller. I think it would have been a better experience on a mouse.
Yeah.
But so I'm going through that whole thing and the voice acting was hit or miss. They did so I guess I had heard wrong. They got the original RoboCop voice, Mr. Peter Weller himself, to play RoboCop, and that was great. But the one to play Lewis, which was his partner, that was obviously some other voice actor because it didn't sound or act anything like
I
her
I
from the
liked it
movies.
though. I liked her. in the demo. The
Yeah,
sound.
it just wasn't Lewis. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't her.
She's probably like 90 now, ain't she? I mean,
I don't know. Look at RoboCop is old too.
yeah.
But one thing too, I wish when he first spoke, it was more. You could hear more of that undertone where his voice is kind of synthesized a little bit, like off the movies. And one thing that I didn't like immediately was the movement. He was too
Oh, me neither.
fast.
Me neither.
Yeah. Once you learn to sprint, it's like, oh my gosh, this isn't RoboCop. And you didn't hear his steps as loud as I would have liked, like the dunk, dunk,
Yeah,
dunk
because
of
he's
him actually
such a
stepping.
heavy robot, but it just seems so
Yeah.
clunky. It seems clunky, but it's not like every step you can't feel it at all. It's just like he's kind of just
Right.
walking normal, like normal footsteps.
Exactly. Exactly. And there's that undertone too of I think they used in the movie for the sound, they use like a fridge and it's like a and that sound is usually playing when you see RoboCop. It's like the way his body sounds, I guess. It's weird, but it totally works. And I didn't like that they didn't play off of that immediately. And I found myself being able just to run up to people and punch them. Like I didn't even have to shoot them. Eventually, you would have to kind of take some strategy because you would take way too many hits, but you could literally clear a whole room by just running over to them and punching them. And I was like, what in the heck?
Yeah, but
Like,
I felt like I kept
they,
getting shot too much when trying to do that. I wanted to punch them, but I was like, man, they're just too far away half the time. You can kill all of them very easily before you even get up there. You can just shoot everybody with a
yeah,
pistol all the way across the room. So why are you going to run into the
sure.
bullets and then punch somebody?
Exactly. But my whole thing is like, you shouldn't be able to, but I could. Like, I could clear
Yeah,
out whole rooms and just eat up all the bullets and just punch everybody. And I was like, that's so stupid.
it is.
Like,
It
I'm
is.
not even afraid of him. And I know that that's RoboCop and everything. And then eventually I would take a bunch of hits and die, whatever. But just the fact that on certain rooms I could clear them all out by just running up to them and punching them, I was like, they missed something here. And like I know I just played a demo and I didn't even play all the way through it. But my first response to it was I didn't like it. And that really sucks because I'm a huge RoboCop fan. But for some reason, it just rubbed me the wrong way, you know?
I have to agree with you on that. I'm not going to go all into my side of it too much, but because I know we both kind of played the same thing, and I think we kind of had the same feelings on it. I kind of like the lore of the game a little bit, Gray. I just feel like
Yeah.
it really aggravated me. It kind of felt unfit. I know it's a demo; it's not out yet, so I can't harp too much on it. But it felt so unfinished to me. I felt like
Yeah.
it wasn't optimized much. I felt like um, what else can I say? The punching. Okay, I didn't like the fact that RB was your punch button. Like, I can't stand that for some reason, but I could get over that. The fact of where you can run all the way to the back of the building and punch somebody and just eat all the bullets, like you said. I know I'm kind of keep saying the same thing that you kind of saying here. I get it, but that's the stuff like the
Yeah,
walking.
like, mm-hmm.
But I tell you one thing that I will disagree with you with is I think Lewis was very well played in this demo. I kind of like the way she did. I kind of like the. I don't want to spoil any of the game at all, but there was one scene where she kind of had to do something, and I kind of like that little scenario that they put in there, that kind of story element to it, and the way she talked and everything. I kind of like it. She kind of takes up for him a little bit, just kind of like in the movies, you know.
Right. Maybe I didn't get that far into it. I got to where you pass through the first level and then you get in the chair.
Yes, I got. That's what
I
I'm
kind
talking.
of
Just
got to
before the
that
chair,
point.
I'm talking about the scenario when the guy's on the balcony holding the hostage, holding the
Oh
girl
yeah.
hostage. That story scenario about what happens at that moment. I'm not trying to
Right.
spoil it for
Yeah.
anybody, but I feel like Lewis was well played in that moment about what she had to do and what her voice acting and all. So I will disagree on that. I kind of like the voice acting and all.
Uh-huh.
I'm
I
with you
like
though.
RoboCop.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. I just wish they would have did more to like modulate his voice like they do on the movie, where it's like drop it, creep, and then there's like an underlying like echo, or they did something to it digitally to where it sounded more robotic and not like a human voice. And it wasn't always like that because usually when he takes off his helmet, he speaks more like a human. But
I
when he's
just
in full form, he's more digital.
I just feel like they could do a little bit more with this game, and it hasn't. When they all sent out there and all the police, the atmosphere was pretty cool when you first start the game, and you kind of see everybody on the streets kind of hurt and everything.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool atmosphere, but his presence just isn't felt in this demo to me.
No. He should have been much slower. There should have been um maybe just have him going in a building and they really work on the lighting and everything. Maybe he walks by like a mirror or something and you get a glimpse of him
Do you
and
think
he's
we're asking?
walking really slow.
Do you think we're asking too
Mhm.
much when we say stuff like that, though? Do you think we're a little bit
I mean,
spoiled, or what? What do you think?
yeah, I think we are a bit spoiled with those type of games, but I also think that they could have done more to make you feel like RoboCop. I think what I was wanting is more of a simulation of RoboCop and not a
A double A
gamified
game, double A
version.
game.
Yeah, like I
That's what it
want a
feels like.
simulation. I want it to be more serious, and it seems like they made more of a game out of it. But it is a game. I mean, I get that. Um, Maybe they were trying to find the balance there. Um, I might give it another chance if I do get a chance to play it again, but right now I don't really have a desire to play it.
Well, I don't really have a desire to pay $70 what this game's going to be when it comes
Oh
out as
no.
well. I'm just not going to do it. Now, this will be a game I snatch up whenever it goes on sale. Yet again on Steam, what we usually do, but or
Yeah.
if it goes to Game Pass at some point. But
Is it on Xbox too?
I don't know. Um, But I feel like
It
when
might
it
be.
comes out, I'm going to give it some time. Maybe they do some updates because nowadays you just can't have these games that they take a little bit longer to get the optimization and the updates and the DLC and all that. Kind of like Cyberpunk. Look how good Cyberpunk is
Mhm.
doing. I heard that DLC is just fire, man. It's so good.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps saying. It's really good.
It's
And it
so
looks like RoboCop is going to be on PlayStation 5 and Xbox X and S and PC November 2nd. So,
y'all
yeah,
check it
it's going to
out,
be out on
guys.
everything.
Y'all check it out. But also check out Forza because it is out on Game Pass. So just download if you have Game Pass. Just download it. It's been
Yeah.
84 on Metacritic for Forza. I know I'm kind of doing a Forza plug in here real quick, but
I
84 on
definitely would
Metacritic,
like to play it.
but it's only has a peak of 5,000 players on Steam. That's it.
Oh, really?
Just
Yeah,
to,
see, I would like to get
Redfall had
into a new
6,000. Gray.
Oh, I don't even know much about Redfall, so
That's what I'm saying. But do you remember how bad Redfall was, though? How bad they said it
no.
was? Yeah, it was terrible. Terrible ratings. How do you not know about Redfall being that bad? It was all over the news. Anyways, it was horrible, and it peaked at 6,000 and 5,000 peak for Forza, which I just don't think a lot of people know it's out. But
Yeah.
it's
And I bet a lot of people are playing on Xbox, because it's an Xbox IP or it's a
yeah,
Microsoft IP.
yeah.
And there's a lot of other games that people play as far as like simulation games. And it seems to me like like Forza is trying to make more of an attempt to have some legit clean racing because you get actually penalized now if you crash another person. And from what I gathered, it doesn't always work good. It might penalize the wrong person, but they're at least making an attempt to try to get some clean racing in there. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like iRacing, but
No, what
it's a
is?
game that
I
you
was
pay every month for. It's a simulation of racing. There's a bunch of different types on there, and you have to earn like a license and everything to race, and you get that by doing clean races, by not like ramming other people, and you get a rating, and that determines how you move up and how you're able to race in the future. And you have to pay for that game monthly too.
So,
Um,
so,
so it kind of keeps everybody more serious about it, you know.
so is this the thing what you're talking about when they get real serious and they build the whole sim setup on the racing
Oh
and they
yeah,
really get like decimal seconds, like trying to get better and better, and they actually win
yeah.
money, like you're talking about?
Yeah, I think iRacing might have some sort of prizes like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, like
Is it like the
folks
racing wheel
get
we had at
really
Micro
hardcore
Center
about it.
on our trip? Is it
Oh
stuff like that?
yeah.
Because that
Mm-hmm.
was sick. I'll never forget that.
Oh,
That
it
was
was so
sick.
cool.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
want to set up not quite like that because that was probably really expensive, but I'm gonna get like the full sim rig and maybe get my big TV and stick it on it. Like I want to do it up right,
that'd be
but
nice.
that'll be in the future.
Well, I mean, with with you possibly moving at some point, it's in the near future, man. Not too much longer. You can have your setup.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I'm thinking like, dude, if I got a little storage shed and just made that like my little man cave when we
dude.
do finally move out on the property.
If you do that, what you need to do if it's a little storage shed is put wheels on it, and then you can just carry it behind your Bronco. So when we go camping, we just have the sim racer right there at camping next
Oh,
time.
that'd be sweet, wouldn't it? Dude, you got to come over so we can do some hunting and stuff. And
Yes, we got to get a deer. It's deer season. Is it bow season now? I think bow season just started.
I think it's bow season. I think so.
We gotta drop some feed on your land, bro. What?
So we close on land Tuesday.
Okay.
We close Tuesday, so I'm gonna be dropping some feed out there
Well, I might throw
on.
some your way,
Tuesday.
some money your way, just so help
Nah,
you out a little
dude,
bit.
it's cheap.
You
I'll
know,
take care of it. Yeah, I'll take care of it.
we
It's gonna
got
be
to
nice.
feed the fan with some deer meat, man. You know, like be a
Uh huh.
man. Go.
Hey man. Speaking of deer hunting, have you played Hunter Call of the Wild before?
No,
So it's a hunting game, and you can play with your buddies
I
and stuff.
figured it was a
And
hunting game. You're like, let me tell you.
yeah.
I saw your
So you
plug
actually
there.
go in the woods and you're like hunting for deer and
Now I
bear
did
and
play a game
everything
a
else.
while back, Gray, and it was a hunting game, but like I felt like I ran for 2 hours, and then I found this random tower. I went all the way up this tower, and I saw absolutely nothing. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. You know, I don't know what I forgot what game it was. It was when I had my Series X and I was just trying different games on Game Pass.
It might have been that game.
Apparently, it's like a really sim like game. Apparently,
Uh-huh.
it might have been
Yeah,
that game, honestly. But I got to
probably
tell
was.
you, I've been working and working some extra jobs and all, and I had some people come up to us about our podcasts and our videos, and
Ooh.
they have been asking me one question that's been popping up, and I think you might like it as well. But they're really wanting information about they're thinking about getting a Steam Deck, and
Oh.
they asking me questions about it, price, usability, when you can use it, and I'm pretty much just throwing to
Uh-huh.
them and telling them, hey, I'm thinking about doing a video very soon. Get some B
Right.
roll and do some video about the Steam Deck. Not on the sense of because it's been out over a year now, right? Year or two,
Mhm.
something like that. I'm thinking more of the sense of like when you can use the Steam Deck, right? Not the
Yeah.
what every I think a lot of people know what it can do, but I think the console experience on the Steam Deck is where it's at. And a lot of my
Oh
buddies
yeah.
have been asking about, and I feel like that's something I can kind of highlight that maybe we both can highlight on the Steam Deck and make a little quick video for them at some point. But
For sure. And especially when you get to be our age and you need to be able like sometimes you can only squeeze in that gaming time when you're on the go.
yeah,
And it's the perfect console for me right now. Actually, we played Spider-Man on it today and it looked great. Like it's really crazy some of the games that that thing is able to play. Me and my son play on it all the time. So it was docked onto my TV, and every day when I go to work, I stick it in my case and stick it in my backpack, and I go to work. and I play it, on my breaks and everything. And then after I get home, it goes back on the dock so that me and my son can play it, during the day. So
Yeah. So we're definitely gonna have to
it's
look
a
into
great
that.
experience.
Apparently the channel I just got from Fitness Chick 4, which is saying that the channel makes you wait 10 minutes until they can actually leave a comment after they follow. So we'll have to look into that on
Oh
Twitch and
man.
get that fixed so people can actually comment. They don't have to sit here and wait 10 minutes to say
Oh yeah.
something.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, fitness chick. I didn't know that was a thing.
But
We're gonna have to fix that.
But yeah, we definitely got to look into. I think like you said, just today you was playing with your son and doing the Steam Deck, just using the Steam Deck. I think a lot of these parents, definitely with the holidays coming up, we can really touch on the Steam Deck about, hey, this is something that can be powerful. You can even use with the schoolwork. You can go desktop mode, not to go crazy into it, but more of the line of, hey, um, you can use it for the console version and have the whole aspect of that.
Uh huh.
But they said, Fitness Chick said that she forgives you, Gray. So
Oh, thank you.
so
Well,
that
no,
means
actually, she said it's okay. I'll forgive you one day. So she hasn't forgave me yet, but maybe
I
one day.
I'm gonna take it like I'm already forgave, and she just doesn't forgive you
Yeah,
yet. You know.
yeah.
So,
But
but
yeah, for sure, man. I'm always down to talk more about the Steam Deck. It's just so excellent. Like I'm able to play old games, new games. Really, like when I'm looking at buying a game, one of the first questions I ask myself is, "Am I going to be able to play this on the Steam Deck?"
mhm.
So
And that's something we can go over
that kind
as
of goes to
well
show.
in the video. Steam
Hmm.
Deck Verified. That's a whole thing. It's very easy to look at. It's very easy for parents to see. Hey, it's this game can be played on the Steam Deck. So a lot of people don't even know about Steam. You really got to break it down. I feel like kind of like how you broke it down with me, right? Is did whenever I was like, hey, what's Steam? What's this? What's OBS and stuff like that? And you kind of broke it down like, hey, look, that's kind of like an Xbox store. People know it like a PlayStation store. It's kind of like a GameStop online. Um, but that's something we definitely need to get into, man. Check it out.
For sure. And also, we're getting another comment. She says, "Do you guys build PCs?" So, funny enough, we have a video where we went to Micro Center with some other buddies, and we didn't particularly do PC building on that, but there was a guy there who was picking out parts so that he could build a PC. And we're going to do more of that content in the future, I'm sure. But
Yeah, and I
yeah, man.
actually built my PC, the one I'm on right now, with the help of my brother-in-law Blaze, which he was a guest speaker on one of the podcasts, I believe episode 3 or 4. But he kind of walked me through it. But that is the way to go if you want to build a PC. That is the way to go for the best money saved, the best you know bang for your buck. Definitely build a PC. So
For sure. I've even seen some that I'm interested in where you can download the operating system from Steam OS and build a PC out that way. Like I don't think it's as usable right now, but in the future it might be a way to build a nice budget system using that OS, because it is free.
yeah,
You
I
wouldn't have to
know
pay for Windows.
I know she is comment Fitness Chick 4 is commenting again saying she's saving for a PC, and that's awesome. So you can stream. That's exactly what we're doing here using our PC. I think Gray's actually using his laptop
Yeah,
right
I'm
now,
using a Lenovo Legion 7i with a 2070 Super. Yeah, I'm using a laptop.
and I have a NVIDIA RTX 3060 GPU right now in mine. So these cards gonna get cheaper and cheaper as well. As long as you got something like that in your system, you should be able
Oh
to
yeah,
stream.
and you got plenty of RAM too. If you're
Yeah.
streaming and playing games, you want to have plenty of RAM.
Yeah.
So definitely things to consider.
Well, I have to she just said PCs are expensive but worth it, better than consoles. I think there's pros and cons both ways from consoles and PCs. Um, I feel like you got pros and cons on it. The consoles, the reason that they're so popular, I believe it has a lot to do with the kids and the parents. They're so simple. You can just power them on, set up an account, download your games. PCs, you have a little bit more you have to work with, and you have to get set up and know what you're doing a little bit more. With it.
Sure. And
But
I think the best of both worlds is like the Steam Deck because it's got a desktop mode on it and it's built to tinker with, but also you can get more of that console experience when you go to gaming mode on it. Um, so like I think for best of both worlds, gotta keep on talking about Steam Deck, man.
I mean, we keep going
But
back
yeah,
to
for
it, but you're
sure.
right. I mean, you're right. You got to keep going back to it, but the Steam Deck is best of both worlds. It really is. Now, it could be more powerful. It's going to probably get more powerful at some point when they do a revision to it. But right now, if you want something that can build your libraries and build your Steam library, I think that's where it's going to be at, man. I think that's where the future is.
Yeah.
I really believe that's where the future is because these consoles are not going to be here much longer. I feel like they might have one more generation, and
Yeah.
I think it's not going to be anymore.
Yeah, I wonder. It's kind of seems to me like everything is going to go by way of the subscription format where you just play games streaming online. As the infrastructure of like internet speeds and all that gets better, eventually I don't even think you're going to need a console or need a system. You're just going to have a box or a subscription on your TV that you play games on. I think that's the direction everybody's going, more to the subscription format. Because honestly, it's like I don't know if they make a lot off of consoles anymore. I know the Steam Deck, like I don't think they were making a lot of money off of those. I think they were betting on people buying them and then buying more games because of it, because that's exactly what I did. And I feel like it's kind of the same with other consoles too. It's like, they just want you to get in that ecosystem so that you spend money on A, the subscription, and then B, buying up all the games. So, yeah, if they can cut costs anywhere, I think getting out of the console market, but still being able to get your money is where they're going to go to, right?
Well, yeah, I think so because that's why they're going more digital on this next generation as well. They're trying to cut the brick and mortar stores out of it by doing disc, and they're going to go straight digital at some point. And that's for maybe the next generation if they can kind of do that. I don't know if they can solely do digital next generation. I think it's going to be kind of like what they're doing now, kind of half and half. And then midway through the next generation of consoles, it's going to switch to all
Hmm.
digital completely. But look at Steam; it's pretty much all digital completely right now, right? So
Hmm.
I just feel like it's coming. Look at Xbox, like you said, Xbox right now. Phil Spencer at one point had something behind him up on the shelf. It was like a little Xbox little box, and they had it was Operation Keystone or Project Keystone is what it was called, and they have yet to release that. I feel like they're doing revisions to it, and that is literally just going to hook up to a TV, and you can have cloud based games on there, or it could be where you can download Game Pass games on there. I don't know, at like maybe 1080p or something. I don't know, but they're getting to a point where they're just going to hook up to a TV or any device that you have, and you're going to have these games digitally anywhere you go.
Yeah.
So it's something to
Yep. I
actually
think so too.
look out for. Um, Fitness Chick 4. We'll do this last question before we end this thing. But do you guys game on your phones? Right? You want to answer? You want to answer that first?
So my phone is Bobo as you can
What kind of
get.
phone you got? Tell
That's why I have a Steam Deck. It's like a Galaxy A10 or something. It's man, old. It doesn't work that great. Doesn't have hardly any storage. But it works for making calls and watching YouTube. And I play games, on the deck and on my laptop. But eventually I'm gonna have to get another phone because it gets to where it's a hindrance, as Gino will likely tell you
No,
that he wants me
of
in the
course
Apple
not.
ecosystem.
I do. I'm like begging for him to get an iPhone. I'm thinking about buying an older one just to get him on there. But I'm just kidding, buddy. It ain't that big a deal. But I have. I think we've spoken multiple times
Yeah, it
about
is.
it. The new blue titanium iPhone 15 Pro Max. I think what she's kind of referencing here, she says the cheapest Samsung phone ever.
I agree.
See, it ain't just me. It ain't just me. But
No.
I think with the new Apple, I don't know what the word is. The new Apple presentation they did, they really hinted about Assassin's Creed Mirage, Death Stranding coming to the iPhone. Going to be like full price games though. It's the only thing. Has a USB-C port as well. It's a lot of differences. They got the new chip that's in there that's supposed to run these games pretty smooth. I think it's getting there. I don't think it's there yet. I feel like I'm not a huge iPhone game. I bought the Backbone, which I can't use.
I was going to ask you about that if you had the Backbone.
I do. I have two of them. I have the PlayStation one they came out with that they partnered with, and I have the black one. And apparently, since I was one of the first ones, I'm a lifetime member, so I don't have to pay a membership for their service that they have. But I have USB-C phone now with the iPhone, so it's not compatible. I have to buy a whole new Backbone controller. But I do like playing it on the Backbone. I am not a much of a touch phone kind of guy. I don't know about you, but I don't like using the phone touch buttons. I like physical buttons. So
I think especially now that we've been spoiled by having buttons on the go, it's kind of hard to go back, isn't it?
It is, especially when you can just pick up a Steam Deck or something like that and play a lot of these games, or the Nintendo Switch or something. But I feel like it's going to get there, though, man. I mean, these screens are getting bigger. There's rumors right now that iPhone 16 having an even bigger screen, right, which is like a little small tablet, which would be a good enough size to play some of these games. And honestly, I used to play some Game Pass games on there. I can get Game Pass on my phone and play it. So you just can't play the Apex Legends or FPS games and stuff, obviously. But it's getting there, man. It's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting.
It is exciting. Exciting times, brother.
Yeah.
Well, sweet, man. Like, I think we covered a lot, and we kind of dove into some other stuff we didn't plan on. We had a guest here. This is our first time streaming the podcast on Twitch, so it was nice to get some engagement here with Fitness Chick 4. And,
absolutely.
Answer some questions, talk about some stuff. We got to talk about RoboCop. We got to talk about gaming moments. We kind of talked about what's going on in our life a little bit. And just want to let everybody know we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, right?
Yeah,
and,
Apple Podcasts.
Amazon Music and Podcasts, all that stuff. Look up GGrated. And if you have any questions for us, comments, anything like that, you can reach out to ggratedchannel@gmail.com. That's ggratedchannel@gmail.com.
Guys, drop us a comment down below on YouTube. Drop us a comment. Ask a question there. If you don't want to go in the email, drop us a question. Follow us next time. Hopefully we have it on Twitch every time, and y'all can always join us during our podcast. Usually Sunday nights is when we go live. Mondays, 7 a.m. is when it will drop. We appreciate you stopping in, man. Let's get it going.
Yep. We got infinite ammunition coming out the yin.
We got another episode coming up later, baby. They just keep coming.
So, yeah, they just keep coming. We're going to be doing this every week. New ones come out Monday morning. So check us out and give us drop us a line so we can kind of see what games that our listeners are interested in, and maybe we can dive into that more. It's always fun to hear different perspectives on games that you love. So, Eugene, enjoyed it, man.
I enjoyed it as well, man. Thank y'all for stopping in, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
See ya.